What's going on, showstoppers? Evan, the show here.
Black Writer.
And what is the name of this show?
Weekly Snack.
Today we've got a special guest in the building.
Okay.
All the way from Jersey, dirty Jersey. We from Jersey too.
You already know.
Shout out to my boy, Mr. Pineapple, Pineapple Poppy, the Poppy Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Itzwonderfull. Say what's up to the people, man.
Itzwonderfull. Pineapple Poppy. Poppy Pineapple. Tropical Titan. You know what's up, man. We come in here with the pineapples and positivity.
Alright, that's how I like that. Positivity. Hey, so listen, we've had a few things happen this week. We've had something terrible happen in Charlottesville. What is it? Charlottesville, Virginia. Tell the people what happened, Block.
Well, I believe it was some
white supremacists.
Yeah. Nazis. They went to Walmart, got some tiki torches, and
basically,
and they started wailing. They started protesting and marching. What was the cause of this whole uproar?
Something to do with statues being removed and different things of that nature. But I was talking to Wonderful. We was talking to him earlier. He was saying, basically, he's glad that this came to light.
Yeah.
Because it's often said that racism no longer exists. Racism, that was older people. You look at these guys, they're not afraid anymore. They're no longer wearing sheets.
Yeah.
They're no longer hiding their face. They're young. They're wearing khakis. They just, college students. So racism is absolutely real. Do y'all think there's a solution for this problem at all?
Well, the only solution is, to me, like we gonna have to do something. What I'm tired of is we do these social media rants.
Social media rants.
We do a lot of.
What do they call them? Social media activists.
Yeah, social media activists. But ain't nobody really stand on the front line. They was willing to. It didn't matter what they got together for their cause.
Absolutely, together, right?
They got together and they marched together, and I believe in our culture and with our society, African Americans, we need to come together. We need to unify and stop we bash one another too much.
Very true.
And so that's the reason why a lot of times racism is winning right now. On the other side, because we're not coming together enough, especially to those superstars that are in the limelight. Shout out to LeBron James, who has something to say about it.
Right, not
afraid to say something about it.
And it's funny because people are so afraid to talk about what's going on. They're afraid to talk about politics. They're afraid to mention Donald Trump. And because you see, I did interviews in New York and asked a bunch of people. Wonderful was with me. A bunch of people, and there's so many people decline because they don't want to speak out about it. Yeah. But like you said, what's your view on that, Wonderful? Because you're Mr. Positivity.
I think the main thing about this whole racism thing is we need to stop the mindset right now.
Okay.
So first of all, we need to understand what is happening, what's going on. We need to see the faces of the people who are, white nationalists, Nazis, and stuff like that.
Right.
Because those are the same people that you're next to all day.
All the time.
That you drive next to, those people that you work next to, those are people that you talk to sometimes.
Right.
So you gotta understand who the face is, so that you're not thinking that we're living in a world that's not racist, or a world that's not against us. I feel like the thing about people who's talking about on social media and doing protests and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that we need to stop protesting.
We need to stop completely. That's what you think?
I think we need to stop protesting on social media. We need to stop protesting.
Okay. I can't. Okay.
We need to protest by supporting black business. We need to protest
action
by teaching and stuff like that. Those are the type of protests that we need to do.
It's funny that you mentioned that because somebody said that protesting doesn't work, but I actually saw that protesting did work when I was living in South Korea. They actually got their president removed, impeached, but with marching, with protesting, there has to be action. So they were willing to take off work. They were willing to stand in the street for hours and block off highways and
consistency.
Consistency. So we really need to get that together. Now, I think that our president kind of incited this bravery of blatant racism, and it's a shame that it's happening. And this was his response. I had to get it verbatim because I couldn't just say, "Hey, go read it." Right on Twitter, he said, "The that is being taken out of our cities, towns, and parks will be greatly missed and never able to comparably be replaced. This is about the statues that were removed. Then he says, can't change history, but you can learn from it. Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, who's next? Washington, Jefferson, so foolish. Also, sad to see the history and culture of our great country being ripped apart with the removal of the beautiful statues and monuments. So that's his response, because it sounds like he's basically in support of what they're doing.
That's craziness, man. Like the thing is, if we're supposed to be pressing forward to make this country great, and well, in my opinion, it's kind of hard to cover up a mess that's been done over years.
Yep.
Like
this country was built on.
And that's the thing is, we're living what this country has been built on, which is racism and prejudice and segregation and undivided. Like no matter them coming together for the Constitution or whatever the case may be, the country is still in a place of division because you still treated a certain minority, or you treated someone with a different background, such as having slavery. I don't find that as great history. I find that as what this country has been built on. It's like you brought over slaves to work for you. You brought over you've had segregation. You have Martin Luther King and all these people that stood up. You shot those and killed those people cold-blooded because they were trying to stand up for the very words that you wrote in the Constitution.
And our leaders are still being targeted.
And we're still being targeted. Even our black athletes, musicians, you got people that are really being targeted by these people that we don't see. And they're being put in the tabloids, exposing them to different things, just so that they can't have a voice, so they can have leverage over them, so that we can't unify as a people. So, because they don't want us to know that they want us to know that we're great and that we pretty much predominantly rule probably half of this country. And if we were to stand up, when we were to be consistent, if we get off of social media, really come together and unify. Black Lives Matter movement is cool, but I mean, like, if we really want to do what Martin did, because there are some results that came out of what Martin did, man.
But the thing is, I don't think that we should do what Martin did. I think that we need to go to Malcolm X route, because the thing about Martin Luther King, I feel like he had a lot of great direction, but the thing is, he was talking about segregation too much and integration and stuff like that. So like, people thought that being integration was the key. Integration was going to make sure that everybody was aligned and everybody was equal and stuff like that. But integration probably was the worst thing. We need to have like a segregation almost, in a sense. Not necessarily that we can't mess with nobody, but we have to segregate ourselves.
Think for ourselves because nobody else is thinking about us.
Build our communities up.
But that's the problem that we have now. Like, that's why we need integration, because the reason why I think that we need integration is because segregation is the problem all across the board. Like, you know what I'm saying? So instead of continuing segregation, because if you continue segregation, then you're defeating the purpose of us defeating the problem that we've built on.
Well, I mean, segregation in a sense like this. Like, people feel like, I would say, alright, say you go to a restaurant, right? You might go to a restaurant in a black neighborhood. They might call it the hood or something like that, and you might get good service, good food. But then you might go to a restaurant on Wall Street, and then you might dress a different way. You might dress like you going somewhere because you're around people who are not your skin tone, and people that might have money, and people who look a certain way, and you try to like live up to their expectations of how you should be. Instead, if you had a whole community of people who were making sure that they were doing their best for their community while they're in their community, they would be setting a good example for the people in their community. So if I'm coming to the store in a suit or something like that, and that might inspire a little kid to be like, oh, I want to be like him or something like that, instead of me now having to go to an area that's my people aren't in to go see a good example. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the type of segregation I mean. Like, we need to really stop trying to fit in with everything else and really start focusing on our people.
Okay. That's an interesting point.
Good point.
Okay.
That's a good point.
So you talked about earlier, Block, about our artists and celebrities and different people being attacked. And we usually do news on artists and celebrities and different things of that nature. And just recently, matter of fact, I think this was yesterday. Chris Brown, he posted a video of his account of what happened in 2009. If you aren't aware, Chris Brown was accused of assaulting Rihanna in the car after an award show, I believe, on the way to a Grammy party. And he didn't say nothing. He didn't say anything for years. He didn't say anything for a long time. And people, pretty much put all the blame on him. And now he's giving his account, and it sounds like the reason that he did what he did, which I don't condone what he did, but the reason why he did what he did was because he was pressured into it. So that's what it seems like. Did you guys see the interview at all?
I didn't see the interview, but I heard his account before.
Okay.
I've heard it, I've read it.
Okay.
Read his account before. But my opinion is it, like you said, like we're talking about today, it's definitely an example of how they try to make the image of our black, young leaders. He's a popular young guy, successful in his music, but they don't want him to be so much powerful. But so they use these tactics.
I feel like they destroy Chris Brown because I feel like if that never happened, I feel like he would be on Michael Jackson.
Oh, definitely. Because he was doing double man commercials and all of that
he
stuff.
Was doing everything, and he was really he's very talented, but that really destroyed him to this day.
And he stayed quiet about it. My only thing is, what people are questioning is why all of a sudden is he coming out with this now? Why didn't he do it right away? What do you guys say? Why do you think he didn't do it right away?
I don't think he could have. I think that they would use anything against him.
I think kind of like I think the response would probably have been different.
Okay.
Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to continue a stigma of black men.
Okay.
I'm still on.
So you think it was attack? Okay. Now, as far as his career is concerned, he still has a considerable amount of hits and a large amount of money. He's not doing his thing. But imagine what it could have been if none of that happened, even if they, not to say that they should have swept it under the rug, but how many celebrities get stuff swept
under? Or even the crossover, or even the crossover of what he could be as a superstar.
Oh yeah. And that was kind of tarnished, but hopefully maybe this might be some saving. Like people see both sides now. Maybe it'll help a little bit. He's not struggling. Let's get that clear. I think the dude owns like 10 Burger Kings. He alright.
He ain't struggling.
He's alright. So real quick, I just want to talk about, you got an album coming out, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the name of it?
So it's called Wonderland.
Okay.
I've been working on it for a year and a half.
A minute, I know for sure.
I've been working on it for a minute because on my first project, I was working on that for 6 months. And I actually kind of just forced myself to put it on. But this one I've been working on it for a while. And it's finally going to come out next week. So
awesome.
Okay.
Congrats.
I produced it.
Man.
I produced most of it. I mixed and mastered it. I did all that.
So all we're gonna say is it's coming out soon.
I'll say it's coming out next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Y'all make sure y'all go get that.
Wonderful Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Showstoppers. This is Weekly Snap. I'm Evan the Show.
Block Rider.
Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Yeah.
Hello?